AEW is reportedly planning a big match for AEW Revolution, which is the pay-per-view next month. We're going to talk about that in just a few. Also, on top of that, WWE does have some Super Bowl commercials that are being aired. Will AEW have a Super Bowl commercial? We're going to talk about that. And we got to talk about an update in regards to Mustafa Ali in WWE, his release, what's actually going on. Guys, if you want more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. And if you are already subscribed, thank you so much. We continue to grow. We just hit 34,000 subscribers, so I greatly appreciate you. Guys, let's talk about Mustafa Ali. I really want to talk about this story because Mustafa Ali revealed on Twitter that he'll see everybody in 2.5 years, which basically confirms that Mustafa Ali is going to be tied to WWE contract for 2.5 more years, which it's not good. You know, Free Ali is trending all over Twitter. WWE released nearly 200 plus people around that number, in the past 2 years for what has been reported as budget cuts. But for some reason, they're choosing not to release Mustafa Ali. I find that to be very weird. I find it to be an interesting situation because, I think a situation like this, if you plan on using him, like, I can understand that. Like, we're not going to release you because we are going to use you. We have plans for you. But if they're not going to use him, if they don't have plans for Mustafa Ali, then why keep him? First of all, you're paying money out of your pocket for him. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And to be honest, like, this is not an AEW versus WWE thing. This is just one of those things where I think it's super strange that WWE is this multi-billion-dollar company, which is making so much money, and they're not using the guy anyways. And Mustafa Ali sitting out for 2.5 years just simply does not make sense to me. It really does not make sense to me. I don't know. I really genuinely don't know what's going to happen here. I think my biggest prediction is that at some point WWE is going to wait for the hype to die down and then they will release him. But you never know with WWE, but I do find it very strange that is the case. Guys, I want to talk about the WWE Super Bowl ads. Peacock, NBC, they have the rights for the Super Bowl this year. WWE will have a couple different commercials being aired, and I honestly don't know what to expect with this, but NBC is the one who paid for these, reportedly. So the belief is that NBC really wants to promote Peacock, and the way that they're doing that is WWE commercials and promoting WrestleMania. Now, I have a very strong feeling that WWE actually didn't film specific funny commercials for the Super Bowl. I have a feeling that Peacock is just going to straight up air commercials promoting WrestleMania, and I don't like that strategy. I don't think it makes sense for Peacock to do that, or NBC. I don't think whatever platform that they're advertising it on, I think it makes more sense for them to actually do something to hook people in, and it doesn't sound like that's what it's going to actually be. It doesn't sound like it's going to be anything more than a typical commercial. But the reason why I'm thinking about this is, Tony Khan has talked so much about money in the past, and how much money he has. And then obviously he has the Jaguars, which are obviously not in the Super Bowl, but he has ties to the NFL. I'm just curious if maybe there's an opportunity for Tony Khan. Maybe it's this year or next year. I think Super Bowl commercials are one of the reasons why so many people watch the Super Bowl in general. It would be nice to see AEW and WWE have something really funny. They have great rosters. They both have, stars on their show that are actually funny. So to me, it just makes all the sense for them to do it. I would like to see AEW do it. And who knows, maybe AEW completely surprises us and has one as well. But, WWE having these commercials, and it doesn't even sound like they're going to be funny commercials. Like, I just think that ruins it. The Super Bowl is always about these funny commercials. And a lot of companies get it wrong, and some companies do very well. But there's a lot of people who look forward to that. And me personally, I'm watching the Super Bowl. I'm picking the Rams. Matt Stafford's their quarterback. The Detroit Lions never win. But Matthew Stafford winning would be like Detroit winning in a weird way. So that's kind of how I feel about it. And I'll be looking out for these commercials. And you never know. Maybe AEW has one that's a surprise. Do I think that's going to be the case? I really genuinely don't. But you never know. Tony Khan is a smart guy. I would do those commercials. But then also you have to wonder, would NBC even allow AEW to do those commercials? That's a really big thing. Because at the end of the day, money is money, but NBC is the one with the TV rights. They're the ones who are airing the Super Bowl on Peacock and, on NBC. So just kind of consider that the likelihood of an AEW commercial does not make sense with NBC having the rights, but you never know. Money does talk, and Tony Khan does have a lot of it. And guys, for our final story of the day, we got to talk about this AEW Revolution. This is interesting because AEW reportedly did not have exact plans with Jay White. Now they do. Apparently, AEW has some pretty big plans for Jay White in AEW, and there's even rumors that AEW will plan a match for Jay White at AEW Revolution. Interesting. And I find this to be very interesting because right now we don't really know what they're building towards. Obviously, we have this, story with Best Friends, Chaos, right? And then we have the Young Bucks and the Elite and Adam Cole. And then you could even throw Bobby Fish into the mix, Kyle O'Reilly. It's becoming a little bit of a cluster here, which is what I would expect. But the idea that Jay White could very well be in a major match for Revolution is really good. Now, one thing I would like for people to consider, because this is something that's not being talked about, but this is something I think would be the right move for AEW Revolution. In fact, I'm going to throw this out there. It is February 12th when this video goes up. Guerrillas of Destiny are in Impact Wrestling right now, thanks to the Forbidden Door relationship between Impact and New Japan. Jay White is also on Impact. I can see a very, very unique situation where God and Jay White come together against the Bucks and maybe Adam Cole. I don't know. It's tough to say what Adam Cole's match will be for Revolution. A lot of us believe that it's going to be Adam Cole versus Hangman Page. But I would go that route. Instead of a singles match, I would do a 6-man tag match. I would figure out a way to do it. If you really, really want to make Revolution a must-see pay-per-view, having that Forbidden Door and flexing God, right? Having them Guerrillas of Destiny on AEW Revolution, it'll be really interesting. You never know with wrestling. There's a lot of people who think there's truly some real beef between Tama Tonga and, the Bucks and stuff like that. And I don't know. I can't tell you guys if that's true or not. I don't think so, but there's a lot of people who do believe it. So AEW Revolution takes place in the middle of March. It's still a lot of time, but AEW planning a big match for Jay White makes sense. I would make it even bigger. I would up the ante, and I would have God in there. And I normally would not advise AEW to have a match, with people who aren't signed to them. But also at the same time, too, business-wise, storyline-wise, it would make the most sense. So ultimately, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. I do want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, I keep you guys updated 7 days a week. Tons of news stories every single day. Lots of stuff to talk about. Wrestling is booming right now. And of course, I just want to take a second and say thank you because we have so many new members taking advantage of our Discord VIP access. And then, of course, we have early content that is launching in March. So there's some cool perks. If you guys want to take advantage of them, let me know. All those links are in the description. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.